In April's AILA Interview of the Month, DACA recipient and paralegal Alex Alvarado shares his story of how deferred action has impacted his life. When did you find out you were undocumented, and how did being undocumented affect you?
So I found out I was undocumented ever since I was younger. My parents were always very open with us about stuff like that. So I think the main reason was because they didn't want us to grow up or get a little older and go get a driver's license, and then out of nowhere just find out that you can't get one. So my parents always told us, you're undocumented, you can't do this, it's going to be hard to find a job, so you got to work hard in school. So that was one of the consequences about that. It just made me work a lot harder in everything that I did, just preparing for an extra obstacle in every part of my life.
How did becoming a DACA recipient change things for you?
DACA is a life changer in itself, actually. Before I was working manual labor in a restaurant, which are all great jobs and I really enjoyed them, but my passion wasn't to do that. My passion was to work with my community in an area that not everybody can. And so when I got DACA, we had organized a DACA drive, and once I got it, one of the attorneys, an AILA member, Jennifer Smith, had crept into my ear and told me, when your EAD comes in, come ask me for a job. So sure enough, 4 months later, I stopped by her office and she followed through with her word, and I was able to become a paralegal. So now I work for Lisa York, another AILA member in Colorado, and it's just been life-changing in the way that I get to live this irony of helping hundreds of people gain some sort of lawful status without having one for myself. But once again, that's also motivation to keep working for it, to be involved with things like AILA National Day of Action, talking to our delegation, things like that. And also opens doors to work with some of my community that have basic questions about how does it work to have a lawyer? How do you hire an attorney? What's the process to go through that? So some of those basics are met, and it's just a pleasure. And I couldn't have done any of that without DACA.
What do you want others to know about DACA?
I think the main thing that I want others to know about DACA is that DACA is not enough. DACA is great, but at the end of the day, it's temporary, and there's still that risk that any other president or even the current president can decide to remove DACA. And for us, I think we did a good faith effort in applying for this program and demonstrating that a lot of us are ready to have a pathway to legalization or citizenship. And if the money is not there, we're going to find a way to pay the fees. We're going to find a way to find an attorney. So the biggest thing about DACA is, even though it's great, it's not enough. It's not everything that we need. But for the meanwhile, it's opened a lot of doors for a lot of us. And I'm sure that everybody who has it is very appreciative of everyone who worked hard for it, the community, the attorneys, the legislators, everyone.
Thanks, Alex, for joining us.